On this week's UBC From Here, changing the world with nanotechnologies.
The result of my research will be increasing the bandwidth of computers from gigahertz speeds to terabit per second speeds, which is 1,000 times greater.
Taking what's learned in the classroom to the real world.
The IEEE is the Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers. They have branches in pretty much every country of the world, and we are the local student branch on campus.
Inside the Multi-Disciplinary Clinic.
The Interdisciplinary Clinic is a UBC project that is supported by the university. It is a graduate program that takes and focuses on training students to work with individuals who are having mental health problems.
Hi, and welcome to this week's UBC From Here. I'm Rosemary Jean Thompson. Trying to build a faster computer is just one outcome of the research being done by engineering PhD candidate Brandon Bourne.
I got interested in nanotechnology because I want to make a difference in the world and progress science to a new level. It's this new emerging field in engineering where devices exist on the nanoscale, things that are approaching the size of atoms. At this scale, there's some new emerging phenomenon that occur that have never been seen before, which can be utilized for engineers to create new devices. In my first year, I went to an orientation on electrical engineering hosted by Dr. Jonathan Holzman. During this orientation, he talked about all the amazing things that are happening here at UBC Okanagan. At the end of the session, I put up my hand and asked, is there anything about nanotechnology that's going on? And he said, yes, there is. In fact, I work in nanotechnology. You should come to my lab and check it out. And after seeing his lab and all the amazing equipment, 5 years later, he is now my PhD supervisor. I work in the area of fiber optics, specifically building new types of logic that can compute all optically as opposed to electronically. I'm basically taking fiber optics and putting it into your computer to do the logic and CPU components. The result of my research will be increasing the bandwidth of computers from gigahertz speeds to terabit per second speeds, which is 1,000 times greater. This type of advancement won't be in your computer tomorrow, but it's the building block to creating the next generation of technology, which you will see years down the road. When I first walked into Dr. Holzman's lab, I had this idea in my mind that I want to create a piece of technology that would fit on a pin needle. And that actually happened, and I can't believe that today I've actually built something that I've set out to do since first year. There are many research groups around the world that are working towards making the mythical all-optical computer. Specifically, our device is the whole package. It takes the architecture and makes it a monolithic integration of photonic nanojets and nanoparticles to create something that's coupled and easy to use. This means we can make optical logic that operates on femtojoule energies and is very inexpensive. Today, my team and I are on the leading edge of this research.
Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm pleased to welcome our guest speaker, UBC President Arvind Gupta, here to speak about his vision for all of UBC and the growing potential of the UBC Okanagan partnership.
UBC President Arvind Gupta gave his first public community speech to a full house at a recent Kelowna Chamber of Commerce luncheon.
I want to think about our Okanagan campus as it is today. We've doubled the number of university spots in just 9 years. We've tripled our annual research budget from 6 million to 18 million. And I can promise you that a few years from now, that 18 million will be considered a small number because we will make it go up much more. Our annual total economic impact on the Okanagan Valley is estimated at $1.4 billion annually.
There's a great level of excitement around Kelowna about UBC's presence here, and there's additional excitement to have Arvind Gupta being the new president. Given his connection to the high-tech world, his background in computer science, his leadership of MyTax for more than a decade, those are all great pluses for Kelowna because I think we see our future in high technology and portable, skills-based economy.
I came today just for the opportunity to hear the direction that Dr. Gupta wants to go with the university and talking about innovation, talking about community engagement, just the importance of the synergy that he sees between the university, business, the city, and the community.
Chamber members were excited to hear about the direction the university was going in.
To me, what Arvind Gupta represents is that entrepreneurial spirit coming into UBC. I've heard him speak once before and had an opportunity to really get a sense of that. And now, today, I heard at a deeper level some of the very key initiatives that are happening that are really going to bring that to fruition.
I really thought that his commitment to engaging with our community, to putting UBC out there in the community, as opposed to sitting in the ivory tower and waiting for the community to go to UBC. I like the emphasis on approaching business and finding ways that business can benefit UBC and UBC can benefit business in a symbiotic or synergistic way.
Professor Gupta stressed how the university is eager to continue to develop strategic partnerships within the community.
We at UBC are open to collaboration. We're open to dialogue and engagement. It's not always easy to work with us, and we need to change internally to make it easy, to create a welcoming doorway for the community into UBC. So we're going to work on being more welcoming, but don't give up on us in the meantime. Just engage with us, give us your ideas, tell us what we can be doing with you. Thank you very much for coming out today and listening to me. Thank you very much for all that you've done for us. And thank you very much for all that you will do for us in the future.
For Professor Gupta, the opportunity to speak to the business community was very important.
This is critical for UBC to reach out to the business community, reach out to the community overall in Kelowna, because the future of our university is really the synergetic partnership between UBC, the business, government, civil society.
Two separate engineering clubs are assisting students from a variety of faculties to put engineering theory into practice.
It was really great finding out about this room because it's a space that's designated for doing all the fun stuff we want to do, playing with the electronics, soldering. And there's a lot of people, even like me, I came in here knowing almost nothing about soldering or crafting any of these products, and it was just great to have just a cornucopia of things that we could just do out of this room.
The IEEE is the Institute of Electronics and Electrical Engineers. They have branches in pretty much every country of the world, and we are the local student branch on campus. This branch has a lot of electrical engineering students involved with it, but we also have a few computer science and math students involved as well.
I'm interested because a lot of my friends are electrical and I'm interested in some of the electrical things. I'm just kind of hoping to get a cross-learning experience and not be 100% concrete and rebar.
I think it's important to have a large variety in our membership just because it adds variety in what we teach and what we learn.
I'm involved in the IEEE branch at UBCO Okanagan for the purpose of trying my best to help the people who want to have access to the resources and all the tools in this room so they can get a hands-on feel for all the things that we try to learn in our classes but they don't have the opportunity to teach us in our labs.
IEEE is important to students because it gives hands-on learning. We run workshops to teach students different skills, programming, MATLAB, things that students might not necessarily know when they come into engineering, but that are either expected to learn or things that just augment what they're taught in classes.
UBC's Okanagan campus prides itself on creating interdisciplinary and collaborative initiatives between faculties. The new multidisciplinary clinic is bringing researchers and students from a variety of backgrounds together to lend a hand to the community.
The Interdisciplinary Clinic is a UBC project that is supported by the university. It is a graduate program that takes and focuses on training students to work with individuals who are having mental health problems.
A number of our programs, psychology in particular, and social work, have been working towards getting an opportunity to bring clients, outside people, into the clinic for various kinds of treatment.
Focuses on training students to work with individuals who are having mental health problems. The School of Social Work is currently focusing on children, adolescents, and families, psychology more so on the issue of adults, and nursing more on issues of health and grieving.
One of the advantages of the space we have is that we have the opportunity for students to watch what's going on live, and we do that by essentially a one-way mirror.
The benefit of this being a training clinic is the fact that there's always supervision for us. So no matter what we do, we always have support from our senior clinicians.
The idea of a university sponsoring a clinic is very unique. We are, as far as I know, the only clinic that is interprofessional that in all of North America, so including the United States.
The social work and the psychology program have the expectation that we're going to be closely related in a number of ways, because the various professions, the clinical social workers, the clinical psychologists, they do different but similar kinds of work. And it is because of the size of the institution and because of the people and their willingness to be innovative, their willingness to sort of push the traditional boundaries, to not say this is mine, stay away from my particular patch, but rather the sense that a collaboration is more likely to end up producing optimal outcomes for the clients. So the client might start off in one locale and then have the file in essence picked up by others so that we can offer a more of a full service kind of approach. It's no longer the isolated specialist, but rather a team that usually results in the best outcome for patients, and hopefully the interaction between students of the different disciplines will create that sensitivity and that ability to recognize that we all contribute in significant ways to the process.
To run a clinic, we've had to learn to work together. What brings us together is that all of the training is focused on the idea of teaching the most current evidence best practices. In fact, our real goal is to train a number of students to become the next leaders in mental health within the community and hopefully within the Okanagan Valley.
It's a real privilege to actually be in the clinic because you're getting supervised clinical experience and you're actually doing the work. You're doing the counseling, you're doing really what social work clinical counseling is. As far as experience, I'm really excited to be part of the clinic.